All right, so it looks like Playboi Carti might be having some trouble with his tour dates for this Antagonist tour that was supposed to be super highly anticipated. Hella people were buying tickets, or at least wanting to, because allegedly they cost like $200 a pop, and he has so many different shows across the world. And then there was that whole scandal in that he was supposed to drop a project before he went on the European leg tour. So maybe there aren't actually any issues, as some people were saying on Twitter and other social medias. Maybe that the thing that we're talking about today with tour dates being canceled, maybe it has to do with releasing an album, but I really just don't think so. Like, why would he not, like, why would he delay some tour dates or cancel them outright if he was gonna drop an album? Like, wouldn't that make you want to just, again, postpone it, not necessarily cancel it at all? Usually a cancellation is there aren't enough tickets sold, right? And if you drop a project, more people are willing to buy tickets to actually hear you perform for the first time these songs, and you'll just sell more tickets, and then you won't have to cancel anything. You won't have to lose money or anything like that. So I really just think that all boils down to this dude needs to actually drop some music, and then people would actually buy the tickets. Because how many times has he performed a whole lot of Red songs at different festivals, at his own tour for the Narcissist tour that turned into King Vamp tour? I think that was the only one, but like still he's teasing at different Rolling Loud festivals and Wireless Fest or whatever they're called. New songs are supposed to be on the next project, music, or again, whatever it ends up being called. And now he's feeling the wrath of exactly what he's doing to himself. Now, we understand the pros and cons to what he does being all super rare, because when he does actually drop music, I don't think he'll have any problems actually selling any tickets. But essentially the new information that we got is on the Playboi Carti subreddit, people are sharing these emails that they got from the venues claiming that on 9/12, which is actually the beginning of the tour, so I believe it starts September 6th, and so September 9th is coming up, and so they're like, oh shit, we didn't sell enough tickets, like we gotta cancel that tour and refund everybody so that we don't lose money, because you know they have to pay Carti enough money for the booking fee, or if he's backing it or his label's backing it, like they're not going to make their money back. So what's the point of going to that city and paying for the tour bus, etc., etc.? There's a lot of variable costs that go into touring. But anyway, so like the third show, it looks like, I don't know where that was, like Vegas, it looks like Seattle. And there's a lot of people in Seattle, bro. Jeff Bezos out there, he could probably buy the entire supply of tickets if he was a Carti fan, that is. I don't know what he listens to, but regardless, 9/12, please be advised that Playboi Carti has postponed his concert with us scheduled for 9/12. This shift is now canceled. I believe this was an email to people who are working the event. Tuesday, September 12th, postponed, shift canceled. So it looks like it's getting canceled though, because there was another picture on September 8th, which I believe is the second tour date in Salt Lake City, Utah. Again, another big city. I know that, you know, it might be in the Midwest or some of these places that aren't as heavily as populated as like Atlanta or LA or whatever, but there's still a lot of people out there, and Carti is obviously a worldwide artist, so he should be able to sell these tickets. But it looks like has postponed this show to be scheduled September 8th to a future date. We no longer have an event scheduled. So a lot of times these postponements just never end up happening, but maybe he will come back again if he drops an album before the European leg, and then he'll just come back to the US and do a whole another US stint within this tour, because like otherwise, again, nobody wants to hear you perform the same music over and over. It gets old, and with all the people who are actually going to see you live, they've probably already seen the recordings or live streams on Twitch or Amazon Prime or from Rolling Loud of you performing. And I know he has that whole thing where he makes it so you can't live stream his performances, so that like it's still he still maintains his rareness or whatever. He's the only artist that does that. But still, like, people find it on Twitter, etc., but that does increase the hype for it. But anyway, so I found some more information on this, or at least it's related. in that touring data, it's kind of like the chart data Twitter, where it gives you information about album sales, etc., except this one looks like the same thing but for touring. And so it tells you like how many tickets are available for each of these big artists tours, what's the capacity at the shows, 6.5k for Uzi, how many of the tickets are sold out of the total. It looks like 82%, which is pretty good, I think, for Uzi. When they started the tour, or like when they first announced it, how many tickets are available overall. So Uzi, but here's the thing, there's a difference between Uzi and Carti's, where I think it's actually, as much as a lot of people at the beginning were claiming that Carti's selling out bigger tours and shows and venues, well, that might have backfired on him, because I feel like this happened in the King Vamp or Narcissist tour, where he really only sold out the floor seats. And so a lot of people weren't like sitting in the stands. Maybe he wants that though. But again, why get like such a big venue instead of a warehouse and not pack it out? Because then it kind of, there's a leeway for a bad narrative to go on if you're leaving some of your seats vacant. So anyway, as I was saying, Uzi selling like 6.5k, and obviously he's a huge artist for Pink Tape. Whereas Carti, he's doing almost double the size capacity for his Antagonist tour. Now, we also have to take into account that he's taking on the road. Pause. I don't even know if that could be misconstrued in any way, but still, okay. Homicide Gang, obviously Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson. So he's got multiple artists coming through with him. He's got Filthy with him probably. So there's a lot more than just Carti, because he's got to hold the Opium Camp. And so people want to see them as well, even though Carti is the main guy. But anyway, he's selling 12,000 capacity venues. However, he's only at a percentage sold of 58%. So about only half of the venue, or half of the venue in each state or each city is actually sold. And so he still has 100,000 tickets still available. Mind you, this was on July 20th. So that was about a month ago. So that could obviously very well change. However, I think this relates to our notifications or emails that some of the tour dates are getting postponed / canceled, because maybe he bit off a little bit more than he could chew, and that they thought he could sell a bunch more. And I think, again, if he just dropped another album, he could, and so many people want to go see him perform that live. But we've heard every fucking transition with every single type of instrument, going from every song A Whole Lot of Red. Like, there's no other variation you can do with these songs that's gonna make it more exciting. I'm sorry. And we've seen the fire, we've seen people eating bananas out of strippers' vaginas on stage. That happened to me in Amsterdam, so that's why I was talking to a girl on a boat about it today. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. I got a girl, you already know this. But yeah, so he just needs to step his shit up and actually drop an album. That's all that needs to go down. But it was interesting at first, at least, just to see how he's trying to sell more capacity venues than Uzi. I actually think he can, although Uzi's a bigger artist, as we all know, but the Carti fans show up for him. It's kind of like those smaller artists who actually have a super engaged fan base, say like Suicide Boys, or some of these more underground-ish, not necessarily underground because they still stream millions of times per month or week or whatever, but their fan base is like die hard for them. Whereas, say if you took I'm trying to think, like, I was about to say Lil Nas X, but I feel like a lot of the you-know-whats would go out for that too, all in their pink cowboy costumes. Who's an artist that, like a Kid Cudi maybe, but I feel like he has a lot of diehards too, but maybe not anymore because he's kind of gone down a bit. But you get the point. There's a lot of like mainstream artists that are just going off streams, but don't necessarily, nobody actually cares to see them live. So there's that. Antagonist tour, something's going down. I don't think it has to do with an album, bruh, because that would be the solution to actually sell tickets. Because if he told the fans, yo, I'm actually dropping a project before these tour dates, to go cop so you can be the first couple of people to hear the album live, because those are the first couple of dates, like that's a big honor for them, then that'd be a big deal, and it would be totally worth the $200 or whatever it is. But I heard a lot of people complaining about the prices as well, about the tour being $200. If you see right here, it says Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster, if you've looked into their business model, it's so fucked. They basically swoop up all the tickets from, or they have an exclusive drop, and they like artificially inflate tickets on your favorite rappers or whatever. So they probably buy them for like $50 or something, or maybe not 50, but like $100. I don't even know what the business model is. And so they're selling it to you for $100, and then they're adding the fees on top of that. You get like 6 different fees when you go to a show. You know what I'm talking about. So maybe it's them. Maybe they just got to drop the price, because $200 is a lot. That's like a Rolling Loud ticket's like $300, I think, or $500 maybe, but that's getting pretty close. Like this ain't a festival, bro. This is like a concert. I would pay maybe $190, $110 maybe, but then you get the fees, so it's like $130. A lot of people got to fix their shit today, but Carti for sure. Just drop the project, bro. Nobody wants to hear a whole lot of Red again. At least play new music. You don't even have to drop it. Do like a Frank Ocean, like where you drop it as a music video all in one video. And so the label can't get the money, but you still got the bag from selling tickets at tours where you perform them. And that's where artists really make the big bucks, or at least like a higher percentage of their revenue. It like flips. Like the labels usually make like 80% or 70% on the streams. Tours flips, or it's a better percentage at least. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Is Carti having issues with ticket sales, or do you just think it has to do with, oh, he's dropping a project? Let's not be delusional though, people. I'll see y'all later. Peace.